Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early April 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the Scorpio collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me. What do you got for us Scorpios and Scorpio gang in the early Aries season? And yeah, I've been saying it to every sign. There's like a lot of spiciness showing up in all the different signs. So that should make this reading extra intriguing. But yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in early April. Talk to me, my guys. What's happening for my friends? Let's go. Thank you. Okay, laying low. Okay. I mean, to me, this energy could be really good. It's also beautiful and aesthetic. So for some of you, there could be you gaining your confidence in one way or another. But some of you might just be laying low with this energy too. Like, it is what it is type of energy. Okay, or just trying to avoid issue. Before we fully dive into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card a little bit. Now, I love this card. I feel like it's extremely aesthetic. You see like all this little flock of birds here, and we have the lady dressed up in costume in the midst of them. So when I see this, first and foremost, I always think of, yeah, maybe you're just trying to lay low. Maybe you're not trying to cause any waves. You're just doing your own thing. It's like, yeah, no, I'll be over here, you stay over there type of energy. And I also got that it is what it is type of vibe. Like, listen, I'm not fighting. I'm not going to do this. Whatever happens, happens. It's just giving me that vibe here straight up front. Now, another thing I do like about this, though, is that it's gorgeous. This is a beautifully aesthetic type of card. So for some Scorpios, maybe you're changing something about your looks. Okay, whether it's your physical body, whether it's your hair, or your wardrobe, your clothing, something about the way you present yourself to the world is being highlighted, which isn't a bad thing. And maybe there is something tied to your self-confidence. Hopefully it's in the positive. Maybe you're feeling like you're getting your groove back, or some of you might be feeling a little low. It depends, right? But let's get into tarot. I feel for the most part, a lot of Scorpios are just in their own lane doing their own thing, okay? So, and I would say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio, please. My guides, what do you got for us? And while I shuffle it up, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Return. So know that that energy could still persist for days and weeks still, regardless of what shows up within this reading, that there was like individuals and situations and things just re-emerging, even behaviors. And I mean, it's been a common message throughout the whole zodiac for weeks and weeks now, and it was just Scorpio's turn. So just know that there could be a lot of things swinging back around in the current times. Another thing I will say while we get this deck shuffled up is I saw for weeks now, at least 3 weeks, like there's an energy building up around the Scorpio collective. There's been towers, there's been like fire-air combination, and it's like something's building up, something's building up. So we'll see how that presents itself, because that energy's got to go somewhere. Let's get you 3. What we got for Scorpio, please? Thank you. Hey, we got the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard, having a drink, having a little sip from that goblet, chilling. That is a big Scorpio card right there. And it's not gender specific, obviously, but let's get a couple more. Controlling one's emotions, 6 cups. Okay, all cups so far. Okay, so there is something about the past that could be either lingering or bugging you. Let's get one more. That could just be an important soul tie coming in for some of you. Okay, 4 of Swords. All right. So we're really going to need to piece this one together, Scorpio, because I already feel that this one might be extremely complex when we puzzle it all together. But this is all internal energy. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I already mentioned it. We have double water here in the beginning. We have air on the back. Now, the way I read tarot, I see water and air as the internal, whereas swords represent the mind and the way we communicate. The cups represent the emotions, how we feel, and our creativity. So these are all internal energies. And surprise, surprise, right? There might be a lot of emotional intensity in the Scorpio collective in this time, where you might be feeling things a little extra more than you normally are. Now, hopefully these are for the better. And I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about what I see in this spread so far. But you know how it goes when we start clarifying, because it's like we have a card that could represent you, a card that could represent another person or the past, and then boom, this Four of Swords, which is like something that's at a halt for the time being. Now, let's go one by one and really start to build this out. Position number one, we have the King of Cups. The one thing I will say about both of these cards, they're absolutely filled with love and care. The King of Cups, already mentioned, it could be any water sign. It could represent Scorpio, not gender specific. So when we clarify it in my style of reading, it could tell us something that's coming towards us or a way we might be feeling. The King of Cups, as with all kings, represents control, but this one is more control of the cup suit, which is emotions. So for some of you, you might be trying to keep your emotions in check, you might be trying to keep your feelings in check, or just feeling things in a really big way. He is a huge card of love. It shows up a lot in love readings when you just have a boatload of love for someone, or vice versa. So it could be good, it could also be creativity, but I already mentioned it. It could be a very simple message. It could just show us something that's coming towards you in this time. Okay, so we'll see. Moving to the center, we have the Six of Cups. Here's where we start getting a little more nuance, and it makes sense with what we saw last week, where it was a surprising return last week, right? Now we have a card of the past. The Six of Cups could be any soul tie. So whether this is representing a family member that you have a deep bond and care for, whether this is a romantic partner, a friend, a childhood friend, someone you grew up with, this to me is a card of history and memories. So when I see it, you might be doing a lot of reminiscing. So whether this is something from the past that's bugging you, that you need to let go, or whether this is a person from the past swinging back around like we've been seeing for weeks and weeks now, this could be the case. In its positive sense, it's looking back on the past in the positive way, looking at the good memories, the good times. In the negative, this could be someone who has a really difficult history as well. So we'll see. I mean, you see how so far this reading, it's either going to go left or it's going to go right. Either it's going to go really, really good or it's going to go off the rails. That's how it feels to me. So let's just put this Six of Cups right here. And yeah, right next to that King of Cups, like there is a lot of care here. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Four of Swords. Once again, internal swords are about the mind. You might need to put your mind at ease or stop stressing something. Stop like over stressing it or over analyzing it. Okay, that's for a portion of you. But you see this person there, they're in a meditative state. So for some of you, hey, maybe you are diving a little bit more into spirituality. Maybe you need some rest and recuperation and recharge your batteries when this card is here. This is a card of taking a pause, taking a beat, taking a break. When we see this Four of Swords, it's not like Ten of Swords energy where it's something that's like permanently over. So some of you could be in a break period of some sort. That's possible. But once again, I feel like the Four of Swords is extremely healing too. Like it's a very healing thing. Just make sure you're getting proper rest and recuperation in this time. And I just feel like there's so much nuance here. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got? What do we got for Scorpio, please? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that King of Cups. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, King of Cups time. There's the King of Cups here. The deck is being super specific. And for those of you that are new here, I only read jumpers. Okay, so this isn't all bad. The Sun, and even in the reverse, the Sun to me is a very, very positive card. Now, for some of you, this could be a connection to Leo or somebody with Leo placements. Now, what do we think of when the Sun shows up, even in the reverse? It's still extremely positive. For a lot of you, you could be having realizations. You could be having revelations where things are being made known to you, where the dots are being connected. And like I said very, very earlier in the beginning, there could be a situation you were going through where you might be cautiously optimistic. And I just said, like, all right, this is either going to go really tremendous or it's going to go off the rails. It's kind of giving me that same vibe right here in the beginning with the Sun in reverse. Listen, Scorpios are realists, and as a Scorpio moon myself, I know that. Like, even if something seems good, seems great, we like to test things, right? Like, we like to look, and I'm not trying to come at any Scorpio, but we like to test the weaknesses of things, not people, but just things in general. So if something great happens, you're going to be realistic about it. That's another vibe I'm picking up here. But for a whole bundle of Scorpios, when we have the King of Cups and the Sun in reverse, there could, if it's not realizations, revelations, or being a realist about a situation, I feel like this could be a win that's about to come in for you. There's like a cautious optimism, like, all right, well, this might actually work, or I might be able to pull this off. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Let's keep moving forward. Take that however it hits. Remember, if that's not you, that could be somebody else too. So it could be a win being lined up. It all depends. So let's see. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. Why is the Six of Cups here? Please. Okay. Wow. Double sixes right down the gut. Beautiful. So yeah, I love this, my friends. Now for a portion of you, you could make a return to something that you've wanted to for quite a while. Now, I don't mean that that's specifically an individual. For some of you, this could be moving to a place where you once lived before. For some of you, could be returning to a career where you once worked before. To me, it just feels like something that you would be happy to revisit showing up here, and there are really good possibilities around it. Another thing I want to mention, now we're starting to see a huge theme of extremely spiritual cards here. Okay, so we got multiple wins and victories of all different kinds. We have like personal relationships, and I mean, it is focused a lot on relationships, but it doesn't just have to be that. But the Four of Swords is a very spiritual card. The Six of Cups is very spiritual. The Sun is very spiritual. We got repeating sixes cutting down the center. Watch the signs, synchronicities, and omens, because Spirit could be trying to talk to you. That's a big vibe I'm picking up with the way these cards are falling, and the double sixes right down the middle. Keep your eyes open for the number signs, the 11-11s, the 2-2-2s, 3-3-3s, the really vivid dreams that could be showing up for a lot of you. I feel like it's good. Let's keep moving, because I feel like for a lot of Scorpios, this is a card of total victory in the center. If you aren't returning to something that you have a history with, I do feel for a lot of you, you're going to be making some really good memories. This is massive win and victory energy all over the place. So your cautious optimism is good. That's a good thing. I would be cautiously optimistic. Let's see why that Four of Swords is here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. Okay, totally different flavor from last week, Scorpio. And remember, if this isn't hitting for you, all good. You can check your other alignments, because I feel like some of these are pretty, like, a little too specific. Don't ask. Let's keep going. Let's keep going to that Four of Swords. Thank you. Okay. I'm not a fan of this energy, Scorpio. Okay. And I feel like part of this really connects to Scorpio energy in general. Okay. There's a sadness in us, right? Okay. Let's just be real. We're all Scorpios here. Even when times are going good, even when the best of the best is happening, there's a sadness in us. And I don't know why that's programmed into Scorpio energy. It just is, right? Maybe it is the realism that we're speaking about. But we have the Five of Cups underneath the Four of Swords. Spirit really wants you to be kind to yourself. That's a very, very important message I'm picking up here on the back end. That, like, listen, you should be happy with the way this is going to go, or you should be happy with these wins and victories that are coming in. But it's like, yeah, I should be, but I'm not. Like, it's giving me that energy, okay? So watch out for things like depression and sadness, because it's the oddest thing, because we do have really good possibilities and really good energies here, but what's going on the back end with the Four of Swords, Five of Cups? So I feel like for a lot of you, you just really need to be understanding to yourself, not just with other people. Be kind to yourself and, you know, accept these feelings as they come in, because otherwise I feel like there's beautiful things happening. Like you're going to get the wins and victories. They're coming in. But this Four of Swords and the Five of Cups on the back end, the energy is going to stick for a little bit. And that's okay, right? We're all human. Just be kind to yourself. That's a big energy I'm picking up. So, I mean, just like every Scorpio reading, there's a lot of intensity here. Okay, now let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. But if you kindly look in the box, my friends, we have a lot of spiritual energy here with the Four of Swords, Six of Cups, the Sun. Like, so watch for the signs, synchronicities, and omens with the double sixes right down the center. Position number 1, we do have the King of Cups with the Sun in reverse. I did say this could be a win coming in, or being cautiously optimistic about a situation where it's like, okay, well, this might turn out good. Or for some of you, something good might happen and you might test it to see if it's real, to see if it sticks. That's just an energy that's showing up. But I feel like I could pull it off, or I feel like we could pull it off. That's an energy I keep getting. Moving to the center, we have the Six of Cups with the Six of Wands in the upright. Complete and total victory. So now for a portion of you, you might return back to something that you want to revisit. So whether it is a connection, a friendship, a place you used to live, a place you used to work, there's something connected to history and revisiting here. Now, for a portion of you, I feel like this is massive win and victory energy, specifically in the realm of relationships and emotions. But when we get to the back end, we have the Four of Swords with the Five of Cups in the upright. And I did say, listen, I totally get it. You know, even in the best of times, there's just something in Scorpio energy. I totally understand and empathize with this. We're just intense individuals. It is what it is. But you need to be kind to yourself. You need to be understanding to yourself. And there's something about being patient as well. Okay, because there's so much good stuff here. And that's, I told you, I was like, all right, well, there's so much good stuff. There's so many victories. Why are you still sad? Now, if that's not you, that could be someone you're connected to that's going through some depression things. And you just need to be understanding about it. Okay, be supportive and just take it easy. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that, Scorpio. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. I mean, I don't want to feel like the back end of this reading was a bummer, but I get it. I get it. Let's keep going. What do we got for Scorpio? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. Sometimes they're good. So let's see what we got for Scorpio. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll leave a link for it in the comments. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love and appreciation for all my members. I really do. All right, thank you. Okay. We got the Knight of Cups himself, so all of this beautiful internal energy all over the place. And what does the Knight of Cups mean in a Scorpio reading, right? It's another one, not gender specific. We are looking at the realm of emotion and possible romance for some of you, especially with the King of Cups, now the Knight of Cups. But it is a card that focuses on the self. And I already gave this whole spiel and message about being kind to yourself and being loving and understanding about a process or something that you're feeling. Not to feel guilty or feel bad about something. That's another vibe that's coming up here. Now, the Knight of Cups is very emotive, right? It's very emotional as well. It's creative. So when I see this in the shadows, Spirit is saying like, hey, you got some pent up emotional energy that you need to get out in one way or another. Whether it's through creative means, whether it's through physical activity, Spirit's asking you like, listen, you need a release valve for this in one form or another. And I get it. I totally get it. Now, another portion of you could still just be dealing with the wounds from a connection, right? That could easily be the message, but I don't think that's it for everyone. I feel like a big theme, a big message in this week's reading for Scorpio is just like, listen, be good and kind to others, but also be good and kind to yourself. That's huge. So Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The April subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar and schedule at mastermetaphysics.com. And if you got your name in for the March subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced on April 1st. But for the April subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite decks. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you had to switch your zodiac sign, which sign would you choose to be out of the whole 12? So if you do that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you soon.